We all know that I've been a heavy run guy always in my college football video game history, but I've been trying to make an attempt to become more balanced with a new scheme I've created. And here are 5 plays that I've been utilizing to some success in some of my online dynasties, and hopefully they can help you be successful as well. Let's dive into them. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Welcome back into CFB, where you can see all kinds of college football content with me, JC, here to cover some of my favorite plays here in college football 26 as we continue our gameplay tips here on 26. I've developed a new scheme, an up-tempo, no-huddle offense, which you can learn more about if you become a channel member by hitting the join button down below, where you get all kinds of behind-the-scenes tips for the game, mini schemes, college football recap shows, all kinds of fun stuff, and we appreciate our channel members keeping this mic recording and that camera rolling. So if you want to learn more about some of these plays that you'll hear today and more about how I run this up-tempo scheme, you can learn about that there as a channel member. But I do appreciate you tuning into this video alone, and I think that these 5 plays will help you enough on their own. And I do thank you for checking this one out. And if you just want to help me out further, just take a second, hit that thumbs up button. That helps us out with that crazy YouTube algorithm. Will help us find more college football video game fans like yourself. And if you're one of those that hasn't yet, be sure to help us out. Hit that subscribe button. That way more people can find these gameplay tips, get some more college football 26 content pushed out to more people. So with that being said, and no further ado, I'll quit babbling so we can get to these plays and talk about this new offense, this new scheme, and me trying to become more balanced. And these are some of the plays that have been helping me do just that with these 5 passing plays. All right, so we're going to start off this passing playlist with one of my favorites that I've recently discovered and started running in a lot of different situations, which I'll tell you about momentarily. And it's in the pistol empty trips formation, which you can only find in the Air Force playbook. But of course, you can find it in this new no huddle up tempo scheme that I've created called Spot the Ball if you want to download it. And if you want to learn more about how to run it, of course, you can become a channel member where I'm showcasing mini schemes and highlighting the way that I use the up tempo scheme and how I kind of unfold that. So if you're interested in that, you can become a channel member here. But this play, pistol empty trips, sprint out return, has become a big usage for me in the red zone, at goal line. It's a great 2-point play, but that's not to say you can't break big plays with it in the open field also. And to me, it's not an RPO, but the way that I run it and the way that it kind of unfolds, it is like a custom RPO. To me, this is a QB sweep with a zig route and a backside dig. And I'm going to show you why that is. Let's check it out. Put the defense on a random play here. Let's highlight this first because you always get the questions. This is, of course, always on Heisman. All my videos always are. You guys know that. With the settings that I like, I'm a revamped guy. I love revamped passing personally. I know some people don't. That's fine. You know, whatever settings you want to use. No passing slowdown, small pass lead increase, and I put my reticle speed on 10. Those are my passing settings that I use. All right, so highlighting this play, this is what I'm talking about with sprint out return. So your running back, which his icon will pop up on the play. I don't know why, because he is on a block, so do not try and throw him the ball because it's not going to work out for you. It'll be an incompletion, fumble, something like that. So I don't know why an icon still pops up. That's kind of a glitch in a way, I guess. But nonetheless, what you're looking at here is your quarterback's going to roll out to the left on this play. I mean, of course, you can flip to whatever side. My quarterback's left-handed here. I'm running with Khalil Wilkins of West Virginia, so we're going to the left. But your first and main read on the pass is that zig route. If that's not there, you're looking at the backside dig. But your main first read is to take off on like what is essentially a quarterback sweep, because this running back is going to either kind of go outside and pin that edge in potentially, or sometimes will even hit a cut block, and you're already on a sprint out motion. I like a lot of the plays that use that sprint out and built-in dash, roll out motion for the quarterback. This is one of my favorites on the game that does that. I wanted to highlight one of those in this video. So let's take a look here. Check this out. It's like a custom QB sweep RPO with 2 really good pass options. So he didn't get the block there, but you can still see you can get outside. But ideally, that guy's going to get blocked 9 times out of 10 on this play. So let's try it again. Didn't get blocked there either, but you can see when that happens, there's your quick read. You can see why this is really good in the red zone, near the goal line, and 2-point plays. It's money, because you're either going to get that quarterback running in, or you're going to get that zig route. Now that backside dig is the late read too, if you have to throw it there. I want to get one where they get the running back gets a good block here, so I can show you guys what I mean here. See, this is what I mean about it being like essentially a QB sweep RPO, because when they get that block and seal that off, which they do a lot, you can take off for that on big yardage. If you're in the red zone near the goal line, it's easy money touchdowns sometimes, especially if you got a fast quarterback, which Khalil Wilkins pretty dang fast. There you see a touchdown on it, on what I call the QB sweep option of it. I want to see if I can hit one where I get the backside dig as well. Boom. There's one. Not a great pass, but we got it in there. So you can see all the options here. You have the rollout, take off. Set it up. That would have set it up first and goal right there. See, there's the cut block. See, when they get that cut block, it's really, really money, which that happens occasionally. They'll get that cut block on that edge rusher. Let's see if I can get one where I just show you. See, you can hit, boop, right there too. Not a great pass, but it's all right. Still good for nearly 10 yards. So, yeah, this is really an underrated play on the game, the way that it's designed. So, pistol, empty trip, sprint out, return in the Air Force playbook or in my custom playbook that I highlight here on the channel. The new scheme that we've built, the up-tempo scheme, is where all of these 5 passing plays are coming from. And this scheme has made me a lot more balanced. It used to be really run heavy. Let's get to the next play. All right, next up, we're going into the shotgun bunch quads offset formation, kind of where you load everything over to one side, which is beneficial on this play. This play is really good if you have a great receiving tight end. The inside kind of post route he runs there is great. Shock routes are one of the most underrated deep routes in this game. You got one of those. Then you got a drag. And you can also do some built-in stuff with the running back. Most of these I run stock, but there are some custom things I'll show you that I do like to do. Here, the shotgun bunch quads offset formation you can find in the Alabama playbook and in the Oregon playbook. So let's check out slot fade here. All right, so slot fade, like I said, the tight end gets open a lot if you've got a good tight end, if you've got a fast tight end. West Virginia's is. Grayson Barnes, I think, is like 87 speed, one of the faster tight ends. So he will get open a lot. I'll show you some fun stuff to do with that running back, where you have everything loaded to this side. Sometimes you can move out your running back to the outside, get some stuff going with him. But the read progression on this for me is, I mean, if they're playing up and I feel like he's getting a good release, that shock route, deep, is the first thing you want to kind of look and see if it's there. If not, then you're going to take your eyes to that post route from Barnes, because a lot of times if that shock route's not open, that's because the safety's going and covering it, and that's going to leave that middle open for that route right there by the tight end Barnes, if I get that out correctly there, the post route. And then lastly, if none of that's there, come back down to your drag, get what you can there with your number one receiver. So let's take a look here. All right, this time we're going to go ahead and try and hit that shock route. Got a good release on it. And that's why I love revamped passing. That's why it's one of my favorites, because the trajectories, you can get a lot of air on the pass. And on those shock routes and such, if you can get a lot of air and angle, lead them outside away from the safety, go in there, get a secure catch. If you got a speedy enough receiver, as we saw right there, touchdown. Let's go back to it here. All right, this time looks like they got the deep stuff covered. They kind of backed off, so just go ahead and take what you can with your drag, which you get a good 10 yards there on it as well. Let's go again here. I want to showcase that. There we are. Drop that thing in there. See, sometimes if you get a better throw, you can catch and run, and he'll split those safeties, and you can get some big plays with your tight end on this one. That time he drops back. We'll try and hit the drag. It was a little late on it. Take a look here. That he's going to be there. Yep, got him. Still I'm not throwing the best passes right here, but we're getting it in there. Just go ahead and take the drag right there with how they're playing it. So you can see all 3 options there come open on this one. I was hoping to find one where the middle route here by the tight end really sprung open, like it can sometimes, but it's all right. We'll make it work with these. We can fit 2 or 3 in there. That one didn't catch, but let me show you what I mean here about what you can do with the running back though as well. If you want to really mix in some other stuff, maybe you've hit them with that a few times and they start really playing those routes. So go take your running back. You can put him outside. If he's fast enough, you can put him on a streak, because usually he's lined up against a linebacker. You can also put him out on a quick speed out right there. He'll beat him to the outside a lot. See if we can do it here. Get some easy yards there with your running back. Let's try and see if we can get one with him on a streak here. And then you can also use that as a decoy too. Then if they start, going over and having to cover that, then that opens up that middle more for your tight end potentially as well. But you, of course, got less protection when you do it this way, because he's usually on that block and release. So you got to be a little bit quicker with your decision when you move him out there. Which I wasn't really there. Not a great pass. Should have hit that quicker. But one more time, just on the stock play design, just to showcase it to you. Boom. Oh, he dropped it. We got to end on a good one. We got to end on a good one, guys. Let's go. There you go. Take the drag. We'll take that. Boom. First down. That'd be a first down. So there's slot fade out of shotgun bunch quads. Offset. Next up. All right, next up, we're getting into shotgun trips, one of my favorite formations on the game, which these next two plays are actually both out of this formation. And that's, just a little bit to highlight what you can do with your no huddle. If you have one of those set as your audibles, you go no huddle, you call one, then you can call the other. Shotgun trips also goes with shotgun spread, which is one of my other favorite formations on the game. So you go no huddle. Both of those are kind of grouped together. They have the same personnel packages, so you can utilize them in no huddle. And that's kind of how I developed this playbook, is so you can do that. And I'm going to try and highlight a mini scheme using those two formations here in the near future. So if you haven't yet, be sure hit that join button, become a channel member, so you can get highlights of how I utilize this spot the ball up tempo scheme. But crossers here out of shotgun trips, a really great play. It's one of my favorites. It's good against pretty much any coverage of the defense, and highlighting it here was a must because it's been my go-to passing play since I've tried to start throwing the ball around a little bit more. So let's highlight it here. So obviously your first read is your number one receiver coming on the crossing route there, as highlighted. It's really, to me, it's him in that slot, kind of the initial reads there, just looking at how they play that once they kind of come across there. But a lot of times that number one receiver is going to get open, either to where you have to slow him down and fit it in. If it's in zone coverage, if it's man coverage, just kind of wait on him to clear through the mess there, and then you'll hit him, coming out on the other side, and you can catch and run sometimes. And then, third option is those deep posts, seeing if either one of those gets a free. To me, it's typically the slot man if one of those does get open, but I'd say, 8 times out of 10, I'm hitting one of the crossers on this if I'm hitting anything. But let's see how it unfolds here. So boom, there it is. There you are in zone. Wait on him to clear. Drop it in there. Go again on it. This time we'll try and hit the other one. Couldn't quite fit it in. I mean, we fit it in there, but he couldn't hang on to it. That's why I love revamp, man. You can get those good trajectories on some of these passes. See, that one I should have went ahead and let him out and caught and run, but I thought he was going to sit there, and I didn't want to risk it. So sometimes I'll just slow him down like that and secure catch. It's just really reading the defense and seeing what's there. Here's one where we can catch and run. And you can see, Cam Vaughn, not the fastest. I think they gypped him on his speed on this game. I'll continue to drive that home. But when you've got a speedy receiver, which I do in a lot of my online dynasties, this can turn into a big play at times. Now, against the computer, it's fantastic. Against users, you got to be more aware of their user coverage. There, we're just going to scramble out, which is another, if nothing's there, that's the last ditch thing. That's why it's good to have a mobile quarterback, in my opinion. But, of course, you got to be wary of the user coverage. But that's why I like that you got 2 crossers there, because they can't user cover both of them. Whichever one they cover, hopefully the other one's going to spring open. If not, it's going to spring open one of those posts in the back end, potentially. Boom, there we go, this crosser. Oh, see, they bumped a little bit there. See how they bumped and threw off the timing? He was going to be wide open if not. This time we got this one. Boom, there's a catch and run on it. And you can see what I'm saying with those 2 crossers. I want to see if I can get one where I can hit the other crosser coming across this way. Overthrew it. That was there. That was a bad throw by me. There we go. Drop it in there, catch and run, touchdown. So there you see crossers, one of my favorite plays out of shotgun trips, which you can find in the Miami playbook or, of course, here in my custom. Staying in the shotgun trips, and another great play out of this is the run and shoot streak X shallow play, which you can find this in the Hawaii playbook, the run and shoot playbook, San Jose State and Utah State, and, of course, here in the spot the ball playbook as well. But this is really great because that route by that slot man is so different. It makes it look like, you're running that crosser again, and then he turns that thing upfield, and sometimes it'll really break open. You just got to kind of lead him out to the left there, so you're not leading him into your other slot man there who's running either the streak or the post, as he's got the option route. But let's highlight it here. Okay, so you're in the same formation. I think this is really great because, you go crossers, you hit a nice play, you go no huddle, you come out, you run this, and you can hit a quick hitter to your man right there on a drag, or you got your slot man looking like he's running essentially the same play, but he's turning it into a whole different route. And ideally in man coverage, if you got enough time, that's what you want to hit, is that route right there by Singleton, the crazy route by the slot man where he kind of goes cross and then up. But if you got pressure coming on you, look for that drag. And then, of course, your final reads are R1 and circle. Circle's kind of the last ditch. R1 will get open, especially if he's reading that thing and he breaks on that post, because if they're covering, that deep route from Singleton, that's going to free open that middle again. So let's take a look here. We'll just take what we can get here on this one, just so I can show you right there. Your quick hitter will get you 5-10 yards on that drag a lot of the time. because everything else is kind of pulling everything away. All your other routes are pushing deep. So that's, leaving that drag there open a lot of the time. Here they come in man. I'm not going to force it in there to Singleton, though, because they had that safety help over top, so we'll just run it, maybe. I hear they pulled the safety up here. Let's see if they bring this pressure. They do. We're going to have time. Are we going to have time? We got just enough, I think. Oh, we got it in there. I should have led him more to the left, but that's what I'm talking about on that route. It takes it a second because it is long developing, but if you can get it there, man, it's nice. It's nice, especially in man. It'll get free a lot. Right there, we'll hit the drag. And you see, that's why I'm taking kind of a deeper drop on this play, because I know I'm going to need time to hit that X route if it's going to be open. But sometimes you can just see that come open right there. So essentially, it's the same read of the two routes on that crossers play, but with a different look here. That's why they kind of build off of each other in this scheme, I think. So there is a look at the streak X shallow. I don't think we're going to be able to hit another deep. Oh, yeah, we might be able to fit one in there. I hate that. When you get tackled and that shit gets picked. Let's see if we can fit a deep one in there. That was tough. That was trying to thread the needle. They're backed off here on this one, so you can just hit that. But yeah, you can see how this play unfolds and why that route from X is lethal at times when you can get time enough to get it off, because the way he crosses and then goes up. But I think that's a really good play as well. But let's wrap it up with another one that I think is a great deep shot. I've made the spot the ball scheme instead of the motion power option scheme, which we developed for the first 3 months playing this game. Now we've got the spot the ball scheme, which we recently developed in the past month or so. And, the concept of it is let's go fast, let's get more plays off, let's eliminate a lot of the motion so we can just kind of go up and, snap the ball and get it off. That's why it's called spot the ball, right? Inspired by the Rich Rod up-tempo system. But you still have to have a play or two with motion in them. And here's one of those, and I think it's a great play to take some deep shots on. And we're in the shotgun spread this time, and we're running this motion wheel play. This is only found in the Sam Houston State playbook and in the spot the ball playbook now as well. And like I said, this builds off of each other technically. So the spread formation and the trips formation, which were the two plays we just highlighted, were both in the trips formation. If you go no huddle, you'll be able to switch back and forth between those formations because they have the same personnel packages. So motion wheel here, technically we could go crossers, we could go the next play that we just ran, and then we could go this play all in a no huddle succession if we wanted to. Motion wheel here I think is a great play to take a deep shot, but if it's not there, you got a nice little check down option as well. So let's take a look here. All right, so your deep shot you want to hit here is Gallagher coming across on the wheel route. If he's not getting loose enough, I think he's on like 89 speed. I might put somebody in there that's like 90 plus, because ideally you want one of your faster guys here on this wheel. We could, I guess, flip it the other way and have Singleton doing it a little faster. Let's see how it goes initially. But the read progression is that wheel route. If you can get it right there, take that deep shot. If so happens that it springs open, it's essentially a switch concept, just with the motion involved. That's essentially what this is, because you got the wheel route from Gallagher and then the post from Vaughn. So you're kind of reading that switch concept, which the main thing there is reading that safety, seeing which of those he goes after. But then if that's not there, you take your eyes down right here on that same side of the field, and that's your check down option, is that zig route. Or if you're getting pressure right there, that's your hot read. Just hit that zig route to Singleton. You do have a curl and come back on the backside too as well, but I like to keep this front side read here. And a lot of times, if you just get enough air under that thing, he dropped it, of course. But if you get enough air on that thing and kind of push it towards that back pylon, kind of angle it there, this is going to get open because all of the action right there, man, he just goes around. He's going around a switch concept, so he's getting really far outside. It's hard for them to get all the way across and cover that. That's why I think it's a great play to take a deep shot on. As you see there, first 2 times we ran it, great success there. Great success. Felt like Borat just now. Oh, got hit as we throw. I think we got it off still. Oh, and he held on to that one. 2 for 3. But you can see, look, I mean, if you just time this right, and you got to put enough air under it, because give him a chance to run over there and get to it. Secure catch it. And like I said, that's why I'm a revamped fan. I love so much air you can put under the ball on some of these passes in the revamped meter. That's just me personally, though. I know everybody has their preferences. See, I should have probably threw the post route on that. The safety sat on the wheel that time. So you can see how successful that is. Let's try and see if I can hit some of the other ones here, right here on this same side. Like if you want something quick, of course you got to make a better fucking pass than that. That's terrible. You can hit that little zig route. Boom. See, there he just comes springing open. Another bad pass. Or else, if you hit him with a good pass and hit him in stride, he can catch and run there and get up the sideline is ideally what you're looking for. Um, no, that time he got stuck up there. All right, let's try and read that post wheel combo. See if we can get the switch concept. Maybe hit the post on it. I like to try and show you guys multiple options here. Oh, that's going to be tough to fit that in there. I would have had to throw a BB. I put a little bit too much touch on it. Here's one. Get there. Yes, sir. See, boom, you read that thing. See, the safety came up, so essentially you could have thrown either one there, but I wanted to highlight the post because we had no chance to throw that ball yet. So this time they're backed off. I'd say the easy, quick read is boom, right there. Get what you can. Ideally, I would love to catch that and make him miss on a spin. One more time here just to drive it home here. Our fifth play in our top 5 passing plays. Boom. And that's kind of late read right there. If everything's covered, then you can look to that backside, that curl to your running back, or which could turn into an out route depending on how he's reading the defense. So, boom, if you want to come backside to that, you can. And he's going to be matched up on the linebacker a lot too. So a lot of times if he breaks that out, that's going to be open if it's man-to-man. If nothing on your front side's open, that initial read. Let's see if we can drop one more in there. Yes, sir. Perfect one to end on. Let's go. So there it is, guys. My top 5 passing plays right now that I've been utilizing a lot as I've been trying to utilize more passing plays, get more balance now with this up-tempo scheme. My Spot the Ball playbook, which that's all one word if you want to download it. If you want to learn more about it, become a channel member where I'm highlighting mini schemes and giving you a ton of tips and highlighting each play in the Spot the Ball playbook. So there you have it. 5 plays that have helped me become more balanced lately here on College Football 26. If that's a goal you have, hopefully they can help you as well. And I'll be bringing you more plays out of this playbook in the near future. Like I said, if you want to download it, it's called Spot the Ball. But let me know your thoughts on some of these plays, or you can leave in the comment section even some plays that you've been running. Maybe you'll put me on to one that I'll throw into the playbook as well. I always appreciate those interactions as I continue to try and grow the channel here throughout the college football community on YouTube. With that being said, I appreciate you tuning into this video as well, and I will catch you on the next one.